something from Graham Sanderson, who's a chief researcher at Dearton Research Station for the Department of Agriculture. And at Dearton they trial varieties, and so they come up to produce a lot of information for growers on a whole range of citrus, on when citrus will mature, different varieties. And we're looking at a new variety called Early Gold, which would come in here before our other planting. So Graham's got a lot of information on that, how it juices, its Brix ratio, its fruit weight, and a recommendation. So that's very important, that we have a research facility of world class that we can rely on to choose varieties and try varieties. They bring a lot of varieties in from China. They try, and one of them might be any good, but they might try 10. We went ahead with Celestiana because it was going to be ripening here on about the 20th of the first week of July would be ripe, and it had good juicing qualities, and would hang on the tree well, wouldn't fall off. It'll hang on for 2 or 3 months, and so that's why we chose it. Yeah. As I said before, we didn't know anything about growing citrus, so it was important that we use consultants, and especially as we're in an area that doesn't grow citrus. If we were in Griffith or Mildura, we'd have full support, but we're on our own. So we've been extremely fortunate in the 2 major consultants we use are really world leaders. We've got a South African agronomist, Yapi Kruger, who has clients in Australia and in South Africa and in Florida, and he has got us going. Every year we do soil tests and leaf analysis in March, and on the basis of those, he puts forward a 12-month program on how we should fertilise month by month, and also a program on how much water we should be putting out. He visits us twice a year, and we do an orchard visit. We dig up roots. We look at trees. He spends a day here, and he's been extremely important for us. Soon after we got going, he said, "Look, you're going to need an entomologist," and I was not looking forward to spending more money, but we did, and we've used Dan Papacek, who has a company called Bugs for Bugs, and he has an Order of Australia for his work. He's at Mundabra in Queensland, and he works in citrus a lot up there and throughout Australia. He has addressed a number of problems that if we hadn't jumped on them with his help, we would have really got into trouble. When we started off with young trees, we put tree guards on them. They're sort of like milk cartons, and it proved that these, though necessary to put the guard on, they were a perfect environment for ants, and the ants would build their nest up in there, and then they'd be up in the tree. And the ant farms all the scale insects, so within a short time we had red scale emerging all over the orchard, and soft scale, and then that soft scale leads to sooty mould and a whole number of problems. So rather than Dan Papacek, Bugs for Bugs, is an integrated pest management man. Rather than just spray the whole thing for scale insect, we didn't do that at all. We went back to the cause of the problem, which was the ant, and now at least twice a year we put out an ant bait. We make it ourselves out of polenta and an active insecticide, and we just sprinkle that down the rows with a tractor application. Very simple, very, very cheap. Our ant population's now very small. All the scale is practically gone. That's the soft scales and the sooty mould. That problem's been, I think, just about nailed. Then the other problem we had with the insects was the red scale, which is apparent on the fruit. And we've been releasing Asphytus wasps to biologically control them. Dan breeds those at Mundabra, and we release several million of those twice a year. And they attack the red scale and parasite it, lay their egg in it, and that's pretty well got that under control. We want to get our Asphytus levels up, and we we probably have to boost it every year with a fresh stock from him. But it's again a really useful technique. And through integrated pest management, we've never ever done a blanket spray for insects in the orchard. If we get a chronic case of red scale, we might treat that tree or a few trees around it, but we've never done a blanket a spray, and that's a wonderful thing, because once you start the spray thing, you get rid of the beneficial insects, and you get into this continuous spray thing that, you know, in September you apply one chemical, and you follow it up in October, November, December. You get into spray cycle because you've got rid of all the predators. So Dan's thing is, you know, there's good insects and bad insects, and you've got to get this balance happening. And it's proven to be very successful here. We're very fortunate to have had him help us.